Hi everybody, it's Lynnea, and I have a project for InkOn3. I'm going to be using the cute little Raccoon Hugs stamp set, and I'll be making a Valentine's Day card. I'm going to use the little raccoon with his back to us with the heart balloon. I'm going to start by doing some prep work here. So I cut a little hill shape. I just trimmed down a piece of cardstock to be a couple inches tall, and then I used a large circle die and kind of hung it off the edge so that I could create that perfect hill shape. I also took 4 colors of pink cardstock and I trimmed them down into 1/4 inch strips. I'm going to be creating my own diagonal striped background. This is a great way to use up strips of cardstock that you have left over or even pattern paper. And there's a lot of ways to adhere these onto your card. I'm starting with an A2 piece of cardstock, and I'm just using liquid adhesive and completely covering this background. Not completely, but just enough that it will hold down these strips. You could use a double-sided sticky sheet adhesive. You could use tape runner adhesive, however you like to adhere these strips. You could even put adhesive directly onto the strips and then stick them onto your cardstock. I just found it easiest to take a bunch of my liquid adhesive and just cover this piece of cardstock. Then I'm just going to start adding those strips on. I decided to do it at a diagonal. That way I didn't have to do any fancy measuring, but you could definitely do straight vertical or even horizontal strips. I'm going in kind of color order, so lightest to darkest. I started with my darkest strip and then I went to my medium dark and then my medium light and then my lightest color, and I'm just going to continue alternating these strips through all 4 of the colors until I have the majority of my background covered. Then I'll turn this paper over and just trim off the excess strips. I didn't have to go all the way to the bottom because that little hill shape is going to cover up the bottom portion of my card. I just had to make sure that I had enough of the colored paper so that the sides of the card were covered. Now I'm going to do some stamping. I want to color that little raccoon with Copic markers, so I'm going to grab him out and I'll stamp him with my Misty. I'm using the Blackout Hybrid Detail ink. This is one of my go-to inks and definitely a go-to for stamping when you are doing coloring. You can watercolor with this, Copic color with this, colored pencils, everything, and it's crisp enough and black enough that you can even use it for just your regular stamping, which I'll do later. I'm going to show you how I color this balloon and then parts of the little raccoon. I didn't keep all of the coloring in because it's very simple. For the balloon, I'm using R81, 8.3, and 8.5. That's my favorite pink, like kind of your traditional Valentine's-y pink color combination. I'm starting with the R85 and just adding some color down towards the bottom. Then I'll blend that out with the R83, and then I'll color all over with the R81. It takes a little bit of effort to blend into the R81, but it's not too bad, and like I said, it's one of my favorite combinations. So I just like to start with my dark and then go medium to light, but there's lots of ways to color with Copics. The most accepted and kind of traditional way is to start with your lightest and then go to your medium and then your dark, then back to your medium and then back to your light. I just find that it is easier for me to just go dark, medium to light. So for the raccoon itself, I'm going to be coloring with gray markers. I'll use C5 and C3 for the body, doing that same coloring technique I did before, starting with my dark and then bringing in my light color to blend that out. For the tail, I'm using a darker gray and then a lighter gray than what I used for the body. So all in all, there are 3 shades of gray on this card. I cut him out with my scissors and set him to the side so that I can stamp my sentiment. I'm working on that little hill that I had cut previously, and I'm just going to line up the sentiment that says "You stole my heart." I thought it would be perfect to go with that little heart balloon, and I'm going to stamp that with the Blackout Hybrid Detail ink. Now it's just time to assemble the card, so I'm using Fun Foam behind my hill. It's just an easy way to add quick and level dimension. You could definitely use foam tape if you wanted, or even if you wanted to just adhere the hill straight onto your card. I have sticky back Fun Foam, but it's only sticky on one side, so I'm using liquid adhesive. I find that's a great way to adhere foam onto cardstock. And I'm just going to add that hill at the bottom And then I'll use some more foam tape to adhere my raccoon on. I use liquid pixie dust all over the raccoon body as well as the heart, and then finish off that heart balloon with some glossy accents. And that completes my Valentine's Day card. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you again soon. Bye! Thank you again very much for watching this video. If you liked this video and you'd like to see more from me, please hit that subscribe button that is on the screen now. And here are a few other videos that I thought you might enjoy.